How to do keyword research for a new website. What's up guys, it's Amy here. Now last week has been full on. I co-hosted Groupathon for 3 days and delivered 2 jam-packed live trainings. In one of those trainings, I talked about the secret to getting tons of free Google search traffic. If you didn't get a chance to attend the live training, I've got good news for you. What I've done is edited the live training replay and made it a bit more engaging and prettier in this video. So this is part 1 of the secret to getting tons of free Google search traffic. And make sure you hit that subscribe and bell notification to get part 2 of the training, which is coming out in 3 days. All right, let's dive right in. The secret to getting tons of free Google traffic. Now, guys, really, this is SEO in itself is a massive beast. And what I really want to show you is SEO for beginners, but beginners in a way where you can go out there and compete with the big dogs, but we're going to do it in a really smart way. Now, before you begin SEO or building out your website, you need to think about your niche or your niche, whichever way you want to call it. And the first important thing is determining which niche, which sub-niche, the market that you want to be in. And this is going to be probably one of the most important decisions you will make, because your niche site determines the difficulty of ranking on Google and the amount of money you will make from the website. Okay, so let me tell you a quick story about this. Now, really early on, when I just got started, I was building out these niche Amazon affiliate sites, and Amazon was huge back in the day until they started cutting down on affiliate commission rates. At that time, I was creating a niche site on memory foam mattresses, and it was pretty competitive. Now, the website ended up generating around $100 to $200 every month for me. And while that might sound good if you're starting out, I'll tell you another story. 2 years ago, I took a different approach and I decided to build a local business website for high ticket services. And that was concrete driveways in Sydney. Now you might be sitting there going, did you really build it? Yeah, I built it and I knew nothing about concrete driveways. I just sat down, called a few builders up, did research. What do you do with concrete driveways? And if you ever had a concrete driveway installed before, that price can range from $3,000 up to $15,000, depending on how big your driveway is. And I thought, all right, I'm going to tackle this. And guess what? It took me around 6 to 7 months to create content for it, create some social media profiles, build some presence around it. And we ended up being on the first spot of Google, on the first page. And we're talking about Google Australia. So that's one thing you guys can consider about doing geo-targeting for keywords for specific countries. We were on the first page of Google within 6 months. Yep, it took me 6 months to flip it. I totally thinking, it sounds competitive and maybe it won't make money. But here's the thing. In 6 months, we sold the website for $25,000. And I also outsourced the content creation and even building the links, right? So I'm not an expert on everything, but I know the framework and the strategy and finding people to put together these things to make it work. So I also want you guys to think smartly about this. What are your resources that you have and your time? Obviously, if you have more time, then you probably create most of the content and do the work yourself. But if you have more money, you can also do what I did, outsource it, find people to create that content for you. So the moral of this story really is the time and resources it took to building both websites, like creating the content and building the links to it, took around the same amount of time. So in fact, the concrete driveway website started generating leads even when we were on the second page of Google because there was a demand. So guys, before you even start targeting any keyword, I want you to consider your niche,
by looking at it, looking at who already is dominating on Google. Okay. And the good news is that even though SEO can be competitive, you can go for a mass market like health, beauty, or finance and get tons of free traffic by targeting long tail keywords. So what are long tail keywords? Well, long tail keywords are 3 or more keyword phrases that people search inside of Google. They're usually unpopular because of the low search volume, and it's really small. It could be 70, 100, especially for local keywords, it's even smaller. As you know, the big marketers, they tend to target keywords with a lot of traffic. Now, the good news for you and I is that these keywords convert exceptionally well, right? Because they're ultra specific. Have you ever wanted to find a solution so badly to a problem that you're typing in these really long sentences in Google to find your answer? I know I have. Sometimes I've typed out sentences for 7 to 8 words in it because I'm desperately wanting a solution for it. Well, it's not just you or me. It's the rest of the world, and a lot of people are doing it. And currently, there are billions of long tail keywords on Google that are made up of 3 or more words in it, like that phrase. And that's an opportunity out there for you to go and rank it. And if you apply what I'm about to show you, this is very possible. Okay. So here's an example I found, and this is in the health niche. And it was, why am I not losing weight on keto and intermittent fasting? Now, if any of you are in the health niche, keto has been crazy for the last couple of years, but people tend to do it with intermittent fasting, okay? And basically, this term gets a lot of search traffic. And actually, let me show you. Don't you guys agree that it's super long and specific? And the thing about it is that even though it's got 8 or more words, it's got a search volume of 720 per month. So 720 searches per month in Google for such a long tail keyword. And this data, this is found on the Keywords Everywhere plugin. It's basically a Chrome extension where you pay $10 a month. I just want to share with you what I'm doing and the tools that I use so that you can find it useful as well and you're not just using any tool, okay? And the best part about this Chrome extension is that it can show you specific keywords, specific volumes for specific countries. So if I go over here and I click on it, here we're set to global. And for $10, by the way, guys, it's 100,000 credits that you get. So one credit is basically one search. And you can drop down here and see Australia, Canada, India, search volumes for specific countries. So what I've got right now is 720 monthly searches set on global. So that's a global search volume. And each country will have a different search volume. So just remember that. So the number that you see here is different for every country. Now, how else can you find these long tail keywords? So if you have this Chrome extension installed, over here on the right-hand side, you will see female not losing weight keywords. These are related keywords to this long tail keyword. And you've got average weight loss result during ketosis, not losing belly fat on keto, in ketosis but gaining weight. So there's a wealth of information just right here that's related to this long tail keyword just for you. Now, if you guys out there go, you know what, I don't even want to purchase Keywords Everywhere, here's a trick. If you go right here to this particular keyword and you just click on it, you've got the same related keyword from the auto suggestions that Google are giving you. So if we cross-check female not losing weight, it's right over here. So that's a way to just get other related keywords if you don't want to use the extension. I use it because I like to see the volume instantly for different countries as well as a cost per click if I decide to run Google Ads. And Google Ads is something I do too, just to test a keyword out. and think about your ideal client and these keywords that we're doing through this demo. And if you're thinking, well, Amy, I really don't know or can't think of a long tail keyword. Well, the easiest way is to take a broad topic and start typing it inside of Google. So just go to Google and think of another example. Now, my partner loves free diving. Let's use that as an example. So you can see here, these are the auto-complete suggestions that Google is giving you. And you're seeing here that we're getting 2 words, 3-word phrases that we can choose. So you can really start broad with like a main keyword. So some people call that a money keyword, seed keyword. You can start with that one keyword and then branch out, because you literally go down a rabbit hole when you go through this process. Okay, so you can choose one of these. So instead of choosing one of these, I want to show you another hack. Use the alphabet and then go A. So you see how here on the screen, you got Free Diving Australia. And because I'm in Australia, it's giving me more Australian keyword results that other people in Australia are typing up. But then I could also go, starting with B, it shows me breathing techniques. That's long tail keywords. I could choose that, for example, and then branch off using keywords everywhere to find even more long tail keywords, right? So if we click on this, okay, and have a quick look over here, you can see other related keywords. And these related keywords are also long tail keywords like this one. Look at this. How to hold your breath longer underwater while swimming. That's really, really specific. You know, someone who is typing that really wants to free dive badly and know how to hold their breath underwater and while they're swimming. So again, guys, I use keyword everywhere. You don't have to use it. But another way to find long tail keywords is to scroll right down and see here, searches relating to free diving breathing techniques. You've got another round of keywords that you can click on. And I would click on them. And then you can scroll, you can repeat the process, scroll down even more and find related keywords. This is something that you can use for affiliate marketing, you can use for drop shipping, you can use for e-commerce, local consulting. And some people think, well, I'm not going to do SEO now. I want to focus on paid traffic. Here's my suggestion for you guys if you're in that boat, right? When I'm starting out a new website or a new keyword and I want to target it, it's a long-term approach. And I want to see whether I can get it converting on a keyword. I run paid ads. I spend a bit of small amount of money with Google ads. And if it converts, I'm building a website out of it. You know, I will try and rank it. So I do suggest that you shouldn't rely on one main method. Do start off focusing on one particular method, but be willing to learn and expand on it, because over time, as you grow your business, you're going to be using multiple strategies. But if you're new to this, focus on SEO in the beginning and then later on add on ads or different social platforms. But this is a way for you to really start learning. And if anything, organic traffic, the first page gets 75% of the clicks at 720 monthly search volumes, right? Just a quick tip on it that you can combine a bunch of strategies. Just start off with something easy that you can apply yourself every day and just make it consistent. Now that we know some basic keywords and how to find them, I will show you more tools about it. And now what I want to talk about is grouping keywords, right? Because I can go on and on for ages about different types of keywords, finding a bunch of keywords and how to make content out of them. But one really important thing I wanted to stress to you is think about keyword grouping as well. So keyword grouping is gathering a list of related keywords. So they're related keywords that have the same intent and a similar meaning. So someone typing a specific question like how to hold my breath underwater could be very similar to how to hold my breath underwater while swimming. They have the same intention. That's what I mean by the same intent or similar meaning, and you want to find those related keywords and group them. So the reason why you're doing this is you're not just ranking for one keyword, you're ranking for multiple keywords, and that leverages the time and effort that you go towards creating content. And it's also great because you can use those variation of keywords throughout the content on your Guru Pages website. Now, Guru Digital will be coming out with Guru Blog. So if you want to kind of make this into an authority website, you can use Guru Blog and create additional articles to build out an authority site. Because in Google's eyes, as you create more content on the same topic, it's saying to Google that this website is specific, it's related to one specific content, and it's relevant. That's what you want. Google wants to show relevant content. So let me show you an example of how you would group these keywords. So going on the same free diving technique, I'm going to go with free diving breathing techniques. Okay. Some of the keywords that's related that has the same intent or similar meaning would be how to increase breath hold for free diving. It's quite similar. How to hold your breath longer underwater. So what I can see here without even doing any more research is that I could potentially make a website, a web page, and have an article or content around a broad topic of free diving breathing techniques. And then throughout that content, I would weave in the main keyword that I want to rank, free diving breathing technique, and then variations of these keywords within the content. Because at the end of the day, guys, if you're trying to repeat the same word, free diving breathing techniques, you put it in the title and then you put it into the first paragraph and the rest of it, it's free diving breathing technique. You're repeating it. It looks really spammy and you don't want to do that. That's keyword stuffing. You want to find variations of these long tail keywords so that you can add in your content. There's a thing called anchor text keyword over optimization. Throughout the years, we had Google algorithm updates like Panda, Penguin. They have all these funny names every time they update their algorithm. And things like overstuffing your website with keywords is definitely real. So take that in consideration when you're building out your website. Now, guys, I usually start off manually by typing in the keywords like you see in that demonstration that I did on Google search. So I can get a feel of the competition and what type of content is appearing on the first page of Google. And this just allows me to kind of see where I want to go down the rabbit hole, because once you find all these keywords and you see the volume at it, you're like, wow, let me go and find more keywords and this. And then you end up with like, oh my God, I've got so many keywords. To speed up this process of researching keywords, you could leverage keyword research tools.
All right, guys, I know that was a bit of a teaser, but stay tuned for part 2 of this training as it's currently in post-production right now. Until next time, leave me a comment and let me know if you enjoyed this video. See ya!